Today, I'm bringing you some of the biggest drama that has gone down ever. Shenanigans and tomfoolery so bad, it makes Jeff the Killer look like a Saturday morning cartoon. Now, as we all know, Nintendo is not the best company for communicating with their fan base. Honestly, out of all the companies, Nintendo probably treats their fans with the least amount of respect. But the problem is, time and time again, no matter how terrible Nintendo fans can be treated, it's almost like they have Stockholm Syndrome. They just love Nintendo more. But if anything, it's probably due to the fact that the PS5 and Xbox, the only other competitors, have no games. The Nintendo Switch has games, but they run at 12 FPS unless it's docked. I do want to say as well, before getting into this story, I have merch. We have a Christmas sweater that is available right now. If you go to the link in the description, paracynical.store, we have an incredibly limited stock. Once it's gone, it's gone. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Look, you got the little Petscop guy there as well. Wow, Petscop 2 maybe? Wow, so cool. Now, the Super Smash Bros. Franchise is insanely popular, especially in the pro scene. I personally don't like fighting games, but even I ended up making a video on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate a fair few years ago.
You've got Waluigi, Dwayne Johnson.
Now, Smash tournaments are incredibly common, and the biggest tournament at the minute is Smash World Tour, or SWT. Now, even though these guys had the approval from Nintendo to run their event, they got cancelled from Nintendo, last minute, no warning, on the eve of Thanksgiving. So on Thanksgiving Day, it wasn't just millions of turkeys that suffered, it was gamers as well. Honestly, you can imagine all those turkeys being sacrificed for Thanksgiving dinner, but that is irrelevant. This was D-Day for gamers. Now, this was the biggest tourney, and the prize pool was insane. It was $500,000 total, with $250,000 going to Smash Bros. Melee, which is the second Smash game, and another $250K to the more recent Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, how did a tournament that had actual approval from Nintendo and a direct line of communication still get cancelled by them pretty much on the day? I do want to say this is a rabbit hole and it goes deep. This is deeper than any Slenderman lore video or a YouTuber talking about a TV show and a 7-hour-long video going into way too much detail. So, the Smash World Tour is supported by many other companies that kind of help put it together. For example, Video Game Boot Camp. These guys set up all the way back in 2009, and they pretty much started out as just being huge fans of the Smash series. They did most of the legwork for this Smash World Tour, but then Nintendo contacted them and sent them a cease and desist. Now, originally, there was a lot of speculation like, why would Nintendo send a cease and desist after, okaying the event? Personally, I thought it's because they probably found out that someone watching it at home didn't have a Nintendo Online subscription, so they were missing out on squeezing a $4 extra out of a tournament. And like I just said, this wasn't a let's host the event and see what happens. If we get caught, we'll play dumb. No, they did have approval from Nintendo. Again, to reiterate, they had approval from Nintendo. Nintendo weren't sponsoring the event or anything like that. Nothing huge. They weren't funding it, but they had a line of communication with people at Nintendo, and they said, yeah, go for it. But it has recently came out in some earth-shattering news that Nintendo, even though they are culpable for this decision, there was a bigger mastermind at play, a co-conspirator, and that dastardly company is Panda Global. Now, if you don't know who Panda Global are, they're another tourney, and they actually got written approval from Nintendo to have their own tournament. So Smash World Tour was shut down, and Panda was given the approval, which, it could have been a decision at Nintendo, just completely oblivious, moronic choice, where they say no to one event and let another one through because they're just so out of touch. That's what everyone thought, but it's a lot more malicious than that. Smash World Tour actually released their own statement. It's pretty bad. So they obviously go on to say that it sucks that they were, told to not run the event. But then they said at first, Panda targeted events that were not on the Smash World Tour. A few of these events had broadcast deals with a popular tournament broadcaster beyond the summit. The CEO of Panda wanted broadcasting rights to be included as part of the deal of the events joining the Panda Cup. Most of the events refused to break their contracts, so Panda approached Beyond the Summit directly to try and get the rights released. It's a lot to read, and I'll obviously link it down in the description if you want to see the full article. But basically, long story short, they're implying that they feel that Panda, the CEO of Panda, Dr. Allen, was basically pressuring people behind the scenes to join their org or they'd be blacklisted, which is obviously incredibly unprofessional, just downright scummy. But there has been some more recent developments in the past 12 hours or so. So apparently, Dr. Allen, the CEO of Panda, has stepped down saying to protect the safety and well-being of the employees. He said that a statement is in the works, but all he's done at the minute is just put a bullet point saying the statement against him is a lie. Also, on top of that, Panda Global, like the actual brand account, they've put out their own statement. It has more quote retweets than likes, so you know that it's not going to be good. The statement basically goes on to say that they have many employees, you know, video editors, web developers, talent managers, sponsorship salespeople. But the funny thing is, you go onto the quote tweets and you will see that so many of those people have actually left Panda. They don't like the company anymore. They don't want to be associated with them because the shady stuff they're doing behind the scenes. But surprisingly, one thing the brand account does actually mention is, yeah, it's Dr. Allen's fault. They don't try to protect him. They kind of throw him under the bus, but can you blame them? However, the Panda team does acknowledge and regret the interaction between Dr. Allen and Beyond the Summit, in which he spoke in a manner which did not reflect either guidance from Nintendo or our own standards. Now, like I said, loads of people have dropped out of Panda. One person that even I know about is IBDW, who is ranked number 2 worldwide in Super Smash Bros. Melee. That is the second best ranked player in the world. And he just went, no, I don't think I will. I think I'll leave. Now, obviously, Panda put out their statement, throwing Allen under the bus. Allen still hasn't put his statement out yet. Everyone's sights turned to Nintendo. What has Nintendo said about this? Well, they actually released a statement to IGN. I have no idea why you released it to IGN. They probably gave the review score a 7 for this one. Nintendo did what Nintendo always does, and they basically doubled down. They tried to remove Panda from the equation, saying it had nothing to do with them. They said it was based on the assessment of proposals submitted by SWT and our evaluation of their unlicensed activities. Now, the only thing I know that Nintendo despises with these events is mods. If you run a modded version of like any Nintendo game at an official event, they will shit themselves. They will shit bricks. But this didn't happen. It was going to be a completely legitimate Smash tournament. Again, I don't understand why they're doubling down and excusing Panda. And then they go on to say, we are open to partnering with other organizations and will continue to offer licenses for major tournaments outside of the Panda Cup. Panda Global will continue to be a key partner, and we will look forward to receiving proposals from other groups for tournament licenses. So like I said, it just really is a doubling down. They're not sorry for their choice at all. It was obviously influenced by the higher ups at Panda, but they're just doubling down, saying it was their own choice and Panda has nothing to do with it. This drama has been like incredibly confusing to follow, and it's probably only going to get worse because as soon as Dr. Allen puts out their statement, it's not going to be good, believe me. So just before ending the video, I actually read through the entire document that Smash World Tour did. There is a lot more stuff about the Panda Cup that I didn't even mention. So obviously they mentioned the behind the scenes that I talked about before. In the end, most events with Beyond the Summit broadcasting contracts choose to side with Beyond the Summit and did not join Panda Cup after all the turmoil. So basically, Panda Cup kicked the hornet's nest and basically said, if you don't join us, you will perish. And obviously most people being, you know, forced into a company or negotiations, they don't really want to go through with it. So yeah, they've just been blacklisted. I think what concerns me the most is that even after all this entire piece that was being wrote and Nintendo's response, Panda is still going to have a lot of control, a lot of the monopoly. And like I said, it was more the CEO, Dr. Allen. We still got to wait for his response, to be fair. But yeah, it's just not looking good. During all this, we still kept an open line of communication with Nintendo as we prepared our submission for our championship event. We also expressed our serious concern about how Panda was talking to community organizers and their lack of ethics and how they approached Beyond the Summit. We felt a line had been crossed and could not be ignored. Again, we were reassured that the CEO of Panda does not speak for Nintendo and that they are frustrated with the fracturing happening behind the scenes due to his behavior. This is what I mentioned before, by the way, but this is their own words. BTS had very little motivation to give up the broadcasting rights for free, so they declined to get involved, causing the CEO of Panda to escalate things quickly. We were told he made a variety of threats to Beyond the Summit, including shutting down their entire Smash operation in 2023 if they did not eventually join Panda Cup. After BTS held firm, the CEO of Panda warned that they would get Nintendo directly involved, putting broadcast rights for all tournaments in jeopardy. So it really was, if you're not with us, you're against us. The Panda CEO right now, he's like a red soapstone summon in Dark Souls. You've also got to love how obvious the CEO was as well. Like, you know, in case there was any kind of mention of receipts or anything. He's not like, maybe Nintendo might get involved. It's like, no, we will end you. The guy went even as far to say, to like spread rumors that they're never coming back. Unfortunately, attempts from Panda to undermine the Smash World Tour did not stop, as the CEO continued to tell organizers we were definitely not coming back in 2022. And if we did, we'd get shut down shortly after the announcement. So what Dr. Allen was essentially doing is the equivalent of spawn camping with like an intervention sniper. If you dare try to leave spawn, if you dare try to play the game the way it was meant to be played, killed, shot on sight in a video game. I do want to reiterate, in a video game. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Corruption at Nintendo. I mean, I'm not very surprised. I do want to say again, I got this merch. Please buy it. We've actually put an email listing out, so people, before you guys get to see the video, actually saw the merch, and it's already more than half gone. Half of the merch is already gone. So, you know, you want to get it? Get some. Also, I do want to say as well, I uploaded a video yesterday of me playing through Faith, which is this amazing 8-bit horror game. Okay. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. Okay. That actually scared me. That video got age restricted because I said the word vagina in the beginning. I'm not even joking. That was the reason it got age gated and limited ads. So you probably haven't seen that. That probably hasn't been put in your sub feed. So if you want a gaming video and less like talky commentary, feel free to give that a watch.